आप सभी का on behalf of PRSI Ahmedabad, I welcome you all. This is the first meeting as far as PRSI Ahmedabad is concerned in this financial year. And वैसे तो शुक्रिया सबसे बाद में हम कहते हैं, लेकिन फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल आई वुड लाइक टू थैंक यू ऑल कि आप यहाँ पर आए, क्योंकि अगर आप नहीं आते तो हमारी महफिल अधूरी रह जाती, राइट। आजकल लिसनर्स बहुत कम मिलते हैं, बोलने वाले बहुत ज़्यादा मिलते हैं, तो इसलिए फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल दोज हु आर हियर आई विल थैंकफुल टू यू ऑल फॉर स्पेयरिंग सम टाइम फॉर ऑल ऑफ अस। फ्रेंड्स, PRSI अहमदाबाद की जो नए ऑफिस बेरर्स हैं उनकी नई टीम के साथ में आपका फिर से स्वागत करता हूं। PRSI अहमदाबाद इट्स अ स्मॉल फैमिली बट वेरी इफेक्टिव फैमिली आई विल से। हमारे 60-70 लोगों की एक छोटी सी गैदरिंग, वी मीट रेगुलरली, मोस्ट प्रोबेबली हर 2 महीने 1.5-2 महीने के बाद हम मिलते हैं। वी डू सम इंटरेक्शन, वी इनवाइट सम एक्सपर्ट्स एंड हमारा एक इनफॉर्मल इंटरेक्शन हम हर अंतराल के बाद हम करते रहते हैं। अभी विक्रम जी से बात हुई तो वो बोल रहे थे कि दिस इज़ अ वेरी गुड थिंग कि आप लोग रेगुलरली एक्टिविटीज़ करते रहते हैं। PRSI अहमदाबाद की हम बात करें तो दिस इज़ वन ऑफ द ओल्डेस्ट चैप्टर इन इंडिया। पब्लिक रिलेशंस सोसाइटी ऑफ इंडिया की स्थापना 1968 में हुई थी और उसके तुरंत ही बाद अहमदाबाद यानी एक गुजरात चैप्टर शुरू हुआ था। देन कुछ समय के बाद अहमदाबाद और बड़ौदा को मिलकर एक चैप्टर बनाया गया। 82 से ये चैप्टर रेगुलर काम कर रहा है एंड सम ऑफ द PR डॉयंस, सम ऑफ द PR स्टॉलवर्ड्स आर वेर एसोसिएटेड विद दिस चैप्टर एंड उन्होंने एक स्पिरिट को एक बनाए रखा। कुछ समय के लिए कुछ अंतराल हुआ, लेकिन बाद में वी आर अगेन 2005-07 से एक रेगुलर हम एक मीटिंग्स हमारी होती रहती हैं। तो PRSI अहमदाबाद की ओर से फिर से मैं आपका स्वागत करता हूँ। दिस इज ए ग्रुप ऑफ PR प्रैक्टिशनर्स, उसमें हमारे कुछ PR एक्सपर्ट्स भी हैं, हमारे कुछ कम्युनिकेशन एक्सपर्ट्स भी हैं, कुछ मीडिया से जुड़े हुए हमारे दोस्त भी हैं एंड कुछ स्टूडेंट्स भी हमारे साथ कनेक्टेड हैं। तो आप सभी का फिर से स्वागत एंड I would like to call on our विकी शाह, हमारे नए चेयरमैन। विकी जी आइए प्लीज।
Thank you, Trilok sir. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, friends. I can see new faces here. Thank you to all of those people. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to this gathering for National PR Day, my very first event as a PRSI Ahmedabad chapter chairman. I am grateful to each one of you for taking a time out of your busy schedule, especially on a working day, to be here this evening. Your presence truly means a lot to all of us at PRSI. Now, it is my absolute pleasure to introduce Vikram, who needs no introduction at all when it comes to PR. He is a Shahrukh Khan of PR in Bollywood, and Vikram in the world of PR for his characteristics, consistency, and the kind of LinkedIn presence that he carries. Most professionals would only dream of. Mr. Vikram Kharvi is the CEO of Bloomingdale Public Relations, where he leads with purpose, passion, and a sharp understanding of modern communication challenges. With over 27 years of experience across media, corporate communication agency leadership, he has held key positions at industry giants like Adfactors PR, Tata Housing, and Sampak PR. Not just a leader, but a community builder, Mr. Kharvi is the founder of Indian PR Forum, a dynamic network of over 25,000 PR professionals, and the brain behind Wikipedia.in. That's India's first PR dedicated blog. His commitment to the profession is further reflected in his book, Practice What You Preach, which blends old school PR values with new age digital strategies. A recipient of multiple accolades, and a certified life leadership coach, he is as passionate about mentoring young talent as he is about pushing the boundaries of PR innovation. So please join me in giving a warm welcome to Mr. Vikram Kharvi to shed some light on responsible use of AI, role of PR. Over to you, Vikram.
Thank you, Vicky, for the amazing introduction. So good evening, everyone. Thank you, PRSI Ahmedabad, Chairman Vicky Shah, and also Ahmedabad Management Association for giving me this opportunity to speak to you all here. So when Vicky asked me to come and speak here, I instantly agreed because हमारे लिए तो बहुत नज़दीक है ये, बोरीवली, दहिसर and Ahmedabad. But Ahmedabad is very close to my heart, and Gujarati is more so. I love Gujaratis because I'm born and brought up next to a Gujarati family, and they're very sweet people. मुझे याद है when I was small, I used to go to their house every afternoon and evening carrying a katora, and that auntie used to serve me this yellow color kheer. वो बाद में बड़ा होके पता चला वो खीर नहीं दाल थी. Yeah. So बड़े होने से मालूम मैं अभी याद आ रहा है कि this chapter is as old as me. So I'm happy to be here. Now I'm genuinely deeply honored. I'm honored to be with you here today observing National Public Relations Day, and especially here in Ahmedabad, a city known not just for its history but for the spirit of innovation. We are at a very fascinating crossroads in our profession. Artificial intelligence is no longer a headline. It's in our emails, our pitches, our dashboards, and yes, even in our press releases, which sometimes we don't write ourselves. So today's conversation is not about AI, which has a role in PR. It already does. The real question is, will we shape it responsibly or let it shape us recklessly? So as technology is taking shape, I would like to quote this in Gujarati itself. Our technology na tamai control karo ya ke technology tamai control kare, that you have to decide. And perhaps more importantly, what happens to originality, authorship, and accountability when machine starts doing the talking? So let's begin. We are not the first profession to encounter artificial intelligence, but we may be the most impacted by it. Today, 90% of communication leaders globally believe AI will significantly change how we manage public trust in the next 2 years. Not 2 decades, but next 2 years. Remember this line, please. We are already seeing this. AI is writing press releases, generating headlines, even creating video narratives, and in some cases, it is doing without human approval. It is clear sign we are stepping into a spotlight of not just strategy, but of policy and accountability. But this isn't just about laws, it's about leadership. As PR professionals, our currency is credibility. And today we must ask, how do we protect that credibility in the age of algorithmic storytelling and synthetic influence? And that's the inflection point we are at. And the opportunity we have to move from being tactical communicators to strategic stewards of trust in the AI era. We've seen the upsides of AI, but let's not be blindsided by the downside to it. Because with great power, of course, comes responsibility. Spider-Man ke uncle ne bola tha, but in our case, with great power comes some risky headlines also. AI isn't just a cool tool, it's also a mirror. it reflects the biases in its training. If the data is flawed, your campaign might unintentionally reinforce stereotypes or misinformation. We have also entered the era of deepfakes and synthetic media. One false video or voice clone uploaded before your morning coffee, and your brand could be trending for all the wrong reasons. And remember, AI doesn't understand truth. AI understands patterns, which means it might write you a perfect press release that isn't legally safe, ethically sound, or even factually accurate. Worse still, audience often can't tell the difference between a human-generated press release or a machine-generated one. But when they find out, you will not only lose trust, but you will also lose reputation. And that's why our job isn't just to deploy AI, it's to discipline it. To wrap speed with scrutiny, to match automation with accountability, because in public relations, the only thing more powerful than a story is a story that breaks trust. And AI, when misused, can break it at a machine speed. So let's look at some, international governance is what is in place. So as AI power grows, so does the call for governance, and the world is listening. Let's look at few signals. So European Union's Act passed in 2024 is the world's first sweeping AI legislation. It categorizes AI by risk and mandates full transparency for high-risk systems, including those in media and reputation management. World Intellectual Property Organization, which we call it WIPO, is rethinking copyright law. Right now, AI content isn't eligible for protection unless a human has added some meaningful input to it. In the US, the PR Council and UK's CIPR have both issued AI ethics toolkit, pushing firms to disclose the use of AI, avoid bias, and stay ahead of misinformation threats. So what's the common thread here? PR is no longer just a function of communication, it's becoming a function of governance. We are not just shaping brand narratives, we are shaping the ethical boundaries, how technology communicates with the society. So what's happening with India? India is coming up with the draft Digital India Bill. This upcoming legislation will reshape how AI is governed in our country. It proposes mandatory labeling of AI generated content, tightens rules around misinformation, and aims to protect users from algorithmic harm. There's also a copyright law that is being considered. Currently, India aligns with the global thinking which says AI generated content is not copyrightable unless there is a meaningful human input to it. So if an agency uses AI to create a jingle and no human has edited or directed it, it may not be protected under the law. We are talking about jingle. I have a client who has not only created a song using completely AI tools, so lyrics, music, and also sung by AI. They have created an entire album. You can go and check that album. It's called Bandar Se Bhagwan. It's on Spotify. Please go and check that. There are 12 songs. You will not understand anything that the machine is saying, but you will start grooving around that song. You will dance on that song. So it's that beautiful. METI is shaping a framework called Responsible AI for All. It emphasizes fairness, explainability, traceability, and accountability. Election Commission of India. How can we forget Election Commission of India standing in Ahmedabad? Of course, it's a it's a BJP ruled state, but all seats are not taken yet. So I hope more people join today. Okay, so following 2020-24 elections where deepfakes and manipulated videos went viral, so ECI issued a strong advisory stating no synthetic impersonation of public figures and all AI generated content must carry visible disclaimers. I'll tell you exactly what happened in 2024 elections. So during 2024 election, AI wasn't just used as a back office tool, it became a weapon. Lot of deepfakes made national headlines, and one such video showcasing late M. Karunanidhi endorsing a political candidate. It was emotionally so powerful, but entirely fake. Then there was a video of Amir Khan was shown criticizing Prime Minister, a video so realistic that even seasoned journalists hesitated before verifying it. All of them generated using AI. They spread across social platforms like wildfire. Millions of Indians saw them before they could be debunked. And here's the kicker. While these videos eventually were flagged, they already shaped the conversations, reinforced biases and misled voters. This isn't just a political story, it's a PR crisis in real time powered by AI. To its credit, Election Commission of India responded quickly. It mandated that all political parties label all AI generated content. But the lesson is clear for us in PR. If AI can be used to manipulate perception, it's our job to safeguard clarity. Now let's zoom out for a moment, because this isn't about campaigns or content anymore. This is about governance. And AI rewriting the rule, every boardroom is talking about today. Every boardroom conversation is about risk and reputation. And that's our territory. That's where we belong. Not at the tail end of the processes, but at the strategy table. We are the ones who must be asking the question, was this image generated using AI without crediting the original artist? Did this copy subtly introduce bias? Did we fact check the output or just trust the machine? Have we evaluated the cultural sensitivity of this AI generated output language? Are we labeling machine made content clearly and complying with the law? You all are using AI, right? Are you actually honestly stating any time that this output was generated by AI? Anybody here in this room? No, right? So, that's what I want to offer, a simple checklist for ethical use. Disclose when content is AI assisted. Fact check everything. AI still hallucinates. So if you take a content that you think is perfect, you never know what can be wrong in that, because it does not appear, on the face value of it. And very important, don't feed AI with confidential or proprietary client information. And never let, speed compromise ownership or originality. Think of it this way. Legal teams guard compliance. Tech teams build capability, but only PR can defend perception, and perception shapes trust. This is our moment to move from being communication specialists to becoming ethical guardians, trust architects, and narrative strategists in the AI governance. Now let's look forward, because AI isn't just changing what we do today, it's reshaping what will be done in the next 5 to 10 years. Let me walk you through 4 scenarios that every PR leaders should be prepared for. Scenario 1, the hyper-personalized public. AI will soon be able to create individualized message at scale, not just by segment, but per person. Every stakeholder will hear something slightly different, customized for him or her. Our job is to ensure message consistency and protect brand integrity in this fragmented reality. Scenario 2, AI first newsrooms. Now this is happening already internationally. More media outlets are automating first drafts using AI. And that's speed, but it's also a risk. Imagine if a journalist's first impression of your client is from an AI summary. You'd better make sure it's accurate. PR must step up as a fact checker of records. Are you doing it today? You got to question yourself. Scenario 3, always on reputation monitoring. So we'll move from periodic sentiment reports to real-time emotional heat maps. AI will flag tone shifts, misinformation bursts, and fake accounts instantly. We'll need PR teams trained to act like first responders. Do we training our teams? Or are we even thinking of training our team? Are we investing in our team's training on AI? Again, a very important question to ask. 4th scenario, legal risk from unchecked AI. Companies will be sued, not just for what they have said, but what their AI has said. So that means PR contracts and workflows must include AI reviews and liability clauses. So the future isn't science fiction, it's scenario planning. And the best prepared PR teams won't just survive these futures, they will lead them. The question is, are we building those teams now? We often talk about reputation as an intangible asset, but let me tell you, it's also a financial one. Today, 90% of the market value of world's best brands come from intangible assets. That means trust, perception, goodwill, and credibility are not just soft metrics, they are hard currency. And AI, it's putting all of that at risk, and if we don't handle it really carefully. Consider this, in 2023, a Fortune 100 brand lost $1.2 billion in market value after a single AI-generated tweet misrepresented a social issue. The content was not approved automatically, the content got approved automatically without any human review, and the backlash was global. Not only backlash was global, it was quite immediate and intense. So let's be clear, AI doesn't protect reputation, it accelerates its exposure. One mistake can spiral faster than ever, and when the content is automated, even apology feels very mechanical. This is why we must treat AI deployment as a reputational decision and not just as a tech upgrade. Because in the age of AI, reputation is not what you build, it's what you protect every day. We've talked a lot about tools, risks, and governance. Now let's bring back to something very deeply personal, our role as PR leaders. Because AI isn't just changing how we work, it's changing who we are expected to be. From communicators to conscious, we are no longer just messengers. We are becoming the ethical compass in the room full of algorithms. We should be turning from publicists to policy advisors. More than ever, we are advising CEOs and legal teams on not what we need to say, but what our AI should be saying. We need to be from monitor to analyst. We are moving from counting media clips to interpreting machine-generated signals, insights, sentiments, virality risk, often before they could explode. We should be seen more as risk strategists than crisis managers, because we are shifting from reacting in real time to using AI to predict reputational threats before they become public. We need to become global reputation stewards from national spokesperson, because with AI generated content, everything that you create can go global in seconds. PR leaders must think cross-culturally, because one message can spark 1,000 perceptions. So how do we put all this in practice? It's one thing to talk about AI ethics, it's another to be using a usable framework when pressure is on and the deadline was just yesterday. So let me give you a 3 practical framework, for us to, articulate what we need to put out. The first framework is trust framework. So in the trust framework, T stands for transparency, R stands for responsibility, U stands for unbiased outputs, S for safety nets, and T for traceability. So you need to not only disclose AI involvement in public content, but make sure that human accountability is there. You need to audit stereotypes or slanted languages. You need to build human checkpoints, and you need to keep record how the content was generated and what data was used. Even ECO ethics code recently updated for the AI era. ECO is an international organization of PR people. It recommends AI transparency not just with audience but with clients. It encourages do no harm protocols, meaning no use of AI in campaigns that manipulates or deceive. And it suggests building multidisciplinary AI ethics teams, including PR professionals. And finally, one simple rule I love is label it or lose it. So, in this kind of a scenario, crisis communications becomes more and more important. Crisis communications earlier, when I became a PR professional, we had 24 hours. When crisis is to hit, we had 24 hours to negotiate with the editors. But today, it's not like that. Even before AI could come in, social media was already there. And in social media era, the crisis had become real time. Anybody with the phone could be a prospective crisis for you. But today, it spreads in seconds, because AI changed the speed at which misinformation spreads. Deepfakes go viral and reputations are attacked, often before even your team could get to know. So here's the truth: the traditional playbook of crisis communication is broken. We need a new one built for the AI era. So there are multiple steps that I could recommend. Step 1 is crisis anticipation. We must now anticipate what kind of crisis AI could bring, and we need to be prepared to meet those crises. We need to have holding statements like we used to have normal holding statements in our regular time of PR. We need to have holding statement with preloaded real messages, videos, and positioning that reflects our brand truth. We need to have templated responses pre-approved for high-risk issues, especially in volatile sectors like healthcare, finance, or politics. We need to also have a post-crisis audit. We need to ask ourselves, did AI help, or did it hinder, or did we miss? Turn every incident into an upgrade of your crisis model. The bottom line, AI won't replace PR people in crisis, but it will define whether we are ready, we are early, or we are too late. As you know, in reputation, timing is everything. Now, most of you, when I was talking, I could see most of you are on your mobile phones. Now check that mobile phone, open Instagram for a minute. Nahi hai? Check in your Instagram, go to your search bar in the Instagram and type Naina, Naina _AVTR. Just hint out when you get to see that. Somebody, if you can see that, Naina _AVTR. You'll see a very beautiful lady appearing. She can surf on beaches. She goes to gym. And she's very pretty. And she has thousands of followers. She lands brand deals. Brands are actually interacting with her and engaging with her for influencer management, and she never takes a day off because she's not real. She's a digital avatar, trained to behave like human and optimized to engage. Any guesses who built this avatar? It's built by one of our own. Actually, Concept PR team built this avatar. And Naina is not alone. There are people like Lil Makila in US, Ima in Japan. So this is the age of synthetic influencers. And these synthetic influencers are rapidly entering mainstream campaigns. So soon you will not find real influencers making brand campaigns. You will have these synthetic influencers taking over the real influencer. And here's a kicker. Audiences are engaging with them as if they are really real. If you see the content, you will read people are actually falling in love with these AI avatar. So what do we do as PR professionals? On one hand, these avatars are controlled, consistent, and brand safe because brands are using it to create content with that. But on the other hand, there is major concerns about authenticity, ethics, and emotional manipulation. You must have seen Donald Trump videos every now and then. Many a times you can't really make out is the real Donald Trump, or sometimes he speaks like AI avatar, but you can't really make out it's the real Donald Trump or the AI avatar. So here's the guidance I would offer. Always disclose synthetic identities. Audience deserve to know the truth. Don't use AI influencers for social causes. Leave those to real people with real stories. Use them to complement, not to replace authentic voices. Because yes, the avatar may be artificial, but the trust, that remains very, very real. There's one more development that should keep every PR professional up at night. And that's something called voice cloning. You could clone anybody's voice within 3 seconds. So if you generate a deep fake video that looks and sounds real and post it on social media at midnight, and the implications could be enormous. You've already seen fake CEO voices authoring fraudulent bank transfers, deepfakes of celebrities pushing products they never endorsed, politicians saying things they never said until it was too late. So these are not just tech glitches, they are reputation time bombs. Because because the public doesn't wait to verify anymore. They read, they react, they rage. So how do we respond? You need to implement real-time AI monitoring tools. If you're not using them yet, start today. These tools can flag anomalies in video, audio, and text before the story could explode. Prepare a pre-bunking content. Have verified footage, quotes, and narratives that you can push out instantly to anchor public perception. Add AI forgery response to your crisis playbook. Introduce protocols for confirming authenticity, issuing takedowns, and engage media swiftly. Advocate for digital watermarking. Technologies like C2PA can actually tag original content. Now the time has come where you need to tag original content, saying that this is original and not AI generated. Helping platforms and audiences to trace authenticity, because when seeing is no longer believing, PR becomes a validator of truth. So if you want to remember just one slide from today, this slide should be the one. Because every time we use AI in our work, we face a choice to move either fast or move responsibly. Here are 7 questions that PR leaders should ask before deploying AI in a campaign, in a statement, or creative, or even an internal tool. What problem is this AI solving, and is AI the best tool for it? Not every issue needs an automation. Sometimes judgment trumps speed. Who is accountable for what this AI says or does? If AI goes wrong, whose name is on the fallout? The answer must be never, no one. Could this AI produce biased, harmful, or misleading content? If the training data is flawed, the output will be flawed too, and your brand will own that bias. So imagine AI comes up with something. Is PR person responsible? You have created that content for the brand. Is PR person responsible? The brand is responsible, or who is responsible? You need to ask that question today. Is there a human in the loop or human on the loop? At least one trained person, empowered person should be there involved, especially for anything that is public facing. Have we addressed copyright and content ownership? You need to ask, was this AI trained on licensed data? Are we about to violate someone else's IP? Are we disclosing AI involvement where it matters? Remember, transparency is not a trend, it's a trust strategy. Does this align with the brand values and reputational promise? Because no tool today is neutral. Every output reflects your ethics, your culture, and your leadership. These questions aren't barriers, they are guardrails. They don't slow us down, they keep us on track. Asking them will make AI work for us and not against us. So we have looked at tools, frameworks, and risks, but let's be honest, none of that matters if your people aren't equipped to use AI confidently and ethically. So the question is, are we training our teams for the future we are already in? So you have 5 skills that you need to train your people, starting today. AI literacy and prompt design. Our teams need to know how to talk to AI, because prompting is the new writing. It's not enough to use tools, they need to understand the logic behind the outputs. Data interpretation, sentiment analytics. AI can surface a lot of powerful insight, but humans need to understand and make judgment and need to interpret, frame, and act upon. Your teams need to be trained on IP awareness and content governance also. Your teams need to be trained on AI ethics and risk simulation. You need to run real scenarios. You need to run scenarios like how we do in crisis communication modules. We run scenarios. What happens if AI misfires in a live campaign? Train your team to spot weak links before they go public. And finally, real-time content vetting. You need to vet every piece of content that we share, because every comms pro need to be a part writer and now a part watchdog also. This isn't about replacing people, it's about upgrading them. So we've covered a lot today, from tools and tactics to ethics and law. But now I want to leave you with a challenge, because this room is not filled with spectators. It's filled with guardians of public trust. So let's create something today right here in Ahmedabad. Let's call it an Ahmedabad call. A roadmap for how PR professional will lead the AI era with clarity, courage, and conscious. आपने आज अहमदाबाद माटी एक अवी पहल करिए ने जे गुजरात ની ગરિમા ને global ભૂમિકા આપે. Sorry for my broken Gujarati. So here are 6 commitments I hope we'll make it together. We need to lead with ethics. Let's create internal charters that define our values. We need to champion transparency. Let's be proud to disclose when AI helps us, because honesty will never go out of style. Respect IP. Let's ensure Our content is not only brilliant but rightfully ours to share. Let's not pick somebody else's content and brand it as ours. Let's train our teams. Let's make AI literacy a core PR skill today and not an afterthought. Let's guard reputation. Let's design comms workflow that are built for prevention and not just for correction. Let's engage policymakers too. Let's have a voice in the laws that will govern our words, our tools and our future. Because here's the truth, AI will write the future, but PR will define what it means. Let that meaning be fair, let it be human, and let it begin. So thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for thinking. Thank you for reflecting, and hopefully for reimagining what a profession can be in this era of machines and momentum. Because everything we talked today about AI, about ethics, about IP, crisis, creativity, it all comes to one thing, trust. And trust is not built by tools, it is built by people. It's built by people like us. So as we move forward, testing tools, rewriting workflows, shaping governance, I hope you'll remember that our greatest asset is not speed or scale or data. It's judgment, it's empathy, it's responsibility. Speed थी image बन से पण judgment थी संभल से. So in other words, it's still human. अंत मा तो मानस सच मानस ने समझे छे. So let's keep this conversation going, not just here, not just today, but everywhere AI meets public trust. I'm open for questions, thoughts, debates, or just honest conversations, because as AI evolves, we need to evolve together. So let's do that, not just as professionals, but as stewards of public trust. Thank you once again. That everything that you saw, the images was created by AI. I tried to create this man like me. He doesn't look like me, but somewhere close. Yeah, if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer. Thank you.
Use of AI in PR other than content.
To generate ideas, to research, now to create videos. Go. Yeah, can you hear me now? Yeah. So a lot of use in AI. You can imagine, and AI can give you a use. There are hundreds of apps being delivered every day. Every startup worth its salt wants to be a AI startup today. You will see every website today is converted from .com to AI. So AI is the future, and you just can imagine what you need to do in AI, and you will find a tool for that. So content is not the only one. They generate ideas. You generate apps. People used to code first. Now code is getting freely available. So you can make any kind of an app. You can make human beings talk. You can have your own avatar. I mean, actually, you can send a video of yours when you're not around to your family, saying what you want, or somebody else will do that for you. So.
Hello, sir.
Hi.
So, since you are from the field, I wanted to ask you, like, I am a mechanical engineer,
Yeah.
and as a first person, how do I use AI? Like, I don't know anything about it, like prompts and anything. We don't understand that. So, how can I use personally AI in my business?
You need to learn how to use AI, and there is something called prompt engineering, which either you can join a course and learn proper prompt engineering from professionals, or there are hundreds of videos available on YouTube. You can just learn using YouTube videos also. There are a lot of trainers freely training you on how to generate prompts. So prompts is something as a language that you use to talk to the AI tool. Nowadays prompts are also getting very easy. If you're using ChatGPT, you can ask ChatGPT itself to give you a prompt on what you want to know, and ChatGPT itself will give you a prompt, and then you can use it. So things have become very, very easy today. How to use it in? Marketing में तो use हो रहा है सब कुछ. Social media posts are getting created by AI. Videos are getting created by AI. A lot of songs are getting created by AI. So marketing now is actually Previously, marketing team used to be like a big department. Abhi, 2 छोटे college graduates are managing the entire department. So, it's being heavily used in AI.
So I have a question.
Yeah, please.
So PR is basically public relation. So relationship में, is it good to use AI to build relationship or something like that?
You know, relationship is yes, but that relationship is actually driven through content. So you use content to communicate with media, and media is a vehicle for us to communicate. So to create content, you can use AI. So you use AI to make content better, and people can understand. Like previously, press releases हम लोग इंग्लिश में लिखते थे और उसको ट्रांसलेट करने के लिए we used to send it out to translators. Now that happens in an instant, any language. So previously, if you have to do a translation in a foreign language, you used to take days to get that done because you used to send it outside to a translator and then get it done. Today, you get it in seconds. So you can actually communicate well using AI.
My question is, have you helped your clients with something like this, and what were the challenges that you faced, and what were the best possible outcomes of that particular exercise?
See, there are no challenges actually. The challenges is of ethics. So how ethical you want to be is your call.
No, I'm saying, have you helped your clients implement AI as part of their PR strategy?
We implement, as a consultancy, we implement AI at our end. And today, large part of our content is being generated by AI. Now, previously, when we used to generate even a press note, उसमें 10 mistakes होते थे. Even if a boss also checks, उसमें भी 4 spelling mistake निकल के ही आती थी. And it should go to the media also with mistakes. But today that is gone because everything is checked. Now forget checking, everything is created by AI. So a lot of content creation is now kind of an outsource to AI. So that is one. Ideas. Previously we used to think of ideas and come up with a lot of novel concepts. Now AI does that for you. You have to just tell, I need few ideas on a particular company to market its product. AI will give you 100. So you have to choose which is the best idea to implement in the scenario that you are in. AI can help you research. Previously, market data was not available so easily. You have to just, you have to take the physical copies of research, go to a lot of newspaper offices and search for what has been printed when and all that. All that is now comes to you at a second. You get market data really in seconds. So it becomes that easy. So all that is being used at PR consultancies now very efficiently. And they are now not only using one tool like ChatGPT, there are multiple tools that are being used.
Vikram, I think one of the biggest bottlenecks still remains, those are unupdated media lists, right? For all of us. So while of course there is one source and everything, but you never know the latest media movements. So would there be some way AI could help in this? I'm sure the entire community would be very grateful.
It is there. There is a tool called Scribe which now uses AI.
Called?
Scribe.
Okay.
Which uses AI. Cision has been using it from quite some time. Internationally, they have really implemented it. And I think Viziki is another tool that is being used. But they're all paid.
They're all paid, yes.
Yeah. So थोड़ा खर्चा करना पड़ेगा sir.
That's another bottleneck.
So we have a question from our YouTube live. One of our PRSA member, Mr. Dhavalkot, has asked how AI will impact PR.
AI already started impacting. I mean, gone are the days when actually, एक client manage करने के लिए you need one PR person. Now one PR person can manage 10 clients. with the help of AI. Media is shrinking. Like I said, newsrooms have already started using AI to create the first draft of their news pieces. So there will be very few PR people left, few journalists left. So, and forget PR and forget journalists, now brands are generating content like there is no tomorrow. They're flooding the internet with their content that is being created. Now, पहले एक ब्लॉग लिखने के लिए 1 महीना जाता था, अभी लोग 10 ब्लॉग्स एक दिन में डाल रहे हैं, filling the SEO to another level. So, content creation is on steroid today.
My question would be, see, there are a lot of websites and tools there where we can check that our content is AI generated or human generated. Sometimes, even if it is human generated, if it is so accurate and so polished, then in that case, AI says that this is AI generated, and that client comes back to you and say that this is AI generated, and you
I think clients will have to be matured थोड़ा सा अभी. जब भी गूगल आया था तभी भी लोग बोलते थे कि गूगल करके दिया है, बट अब कोई नहीं बोलता कि गूगल करके दिया है, राइट? So AI is the future. AI is already there. So what? It is AI generated. If it is accurate, if it is correct, if it is perfect, then use it. What is the problem in that? I think clients has to grow up now and accept the change.
As you rightly mentioned, that we should also start implementing that our content, we should make somewhere it is visible that this content is AI generated. When it is not, whenever it is not AI generated, we should not put it. But does that reflect in our content, or it goes by without saying that it is already AI generated?
See, when I said you need to identify your content that is AI generated, I meant by not text content to that extent, but videos. Like I showed you synthetic video, people look like human, talk like human, but they are not human. I think there you need to identify it as AI. But when you're writing content, you are giving some idea of that content and then telling the ChatGPT to make it in a better way. So that is fine. That is okay. That's not bad. Before ChatGPT, there was this tool called Grammarly. People used to use that to clean your text. So it's exactly like that. So it's okay. What ChatGPT and Gemini and Copilot does it adds its input to make that better. Now you need to be a judge there whether that input that the AI has added is valid or no. Now if you don't have that sense of knowing the added input was valid or no, then you are at fault. So AI can help you to an extent where you are smart enough to know. Like AI ने output दिया और हमने use किया, that means AI is using you and you are not using AI. So you need to be smart enough of what you want. So that's the difference. If you know very well, like a mechanical engineer is sitting there, if he knows his domain like the back of his hand, then he will use that content much better than anybody else. Not like anybody can become a mechanical engineer today with the help of AI. But a real person who studied mechanical engineer will make the difference out of what a real thing is. आजकल तो डॉक्टर भी बन सकते हो आप.
So interesting session, Vikram. Just a question. You mentioned a lot about synthetic videos and synthetic content. So as a reputation consultant, what are the 3 things you would recommend to your any brand that's going through synthetic videos or synthetic tweets, which is impacting their brand reputation?
See, synthetic videos used by brands typically don't impact their reputation because they are using it very safely. So if you have created an avatar, you will give a script that is already brand safe. So that is not impacting the brand in that way. But it is ethical to mention that this content is created by AI. It is not the real human being that is being used there. Like that Nana thing, if you actually scroll, if you don't know it's an AI avatar, if it's not written as an AI avatar, you will not really recognize her as AI avatar. It's that. So all the images that you saw in my presentation, the human images, none of them were real people. They are all AI generated people.
Last two questions.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I have two questions. One is, does AI generated content impact SEO or Google ranking?
Not really. AI generated content does not impact SEO, Google ranking, but keyword stuffing does impact. So if you write it meaningfully, if you write it in a story that people will want to read, then it does not impact. But if you're just stuffing content everywhere, then Google also has become smart now. So Google can understand if it's keyword stuffing or no. So you need not stuff with keyword.
Yes, right. And my another question is, how do PR professionals address concern about plagiarism and copyrights when using AI generated content?
We're not doing plagiarism.
But just for the research purpose someone is using, then there is a question of plagiarism.
Then mention the source.
Absolutely, okay. And like, do we need to be transparent enough, like when we are dealing with our clients or anything, then shall we, as a ethical point of view, shall we mention that it is AI generated?
Yes, ethically yes. But otherwise you and your client, you should know better.
Hi Vikram, Himanshu.
Hi Himansh.
How are you?
Good.
Great.
Somebody told me you will meet me today.
Yeah. So it's a funny incident that happened with us. The question is, how can we control media misusing or abusing ChatGPT, precisely AI? It happened with me. The thing is, like, it was a Gen Z and AI both together.
Difficult.
It was a disaster.
Yes.
So that kid literally वो English का उठा के गुजराती में translate कर दिया. That story appeared and the quote was misquoted completely.
Who's to be blamed?
We shared Gujarati release English, but despite that, that kid chose to put that into ChatGPT, translate and publish it.
So that publish हो गया ना?
हो गया.
So who's to be blamed?
Client तो हमारी बजा रहा है.
There is no right answer here. You can't blame the kid, because if you're giving the kid to handle that somewhere you are also at fault, where you have not trained enough, or there is no guardrails there, and obviously the consultancy is to be blamed, the publication is to be blamed because the journalist has not read it. Mila छाप दिया. क्या करें ना, perils of the profession. There are so less people doing so much of work here. I think we are done.
Any more questions? I think we are, yeah. Thank you, Vikram. Thank you, really. It's been a pleasure having you here. Very, very insightful. Came all the way 15 kilometers from the other part of Ahmedabad, and I was like, क्या बात करेंगे, मतलब क्या होगा? But takeaways for me, and one of the questions that I had asked him, what PR professionals must do? इसमें से मेरे लिए key takeaway जो है, digital signature verification. I think that is one important aspect that is for me to carry. Thank you for that. Of course, implement real-time monitoring and all other aspects. Then the capacity or capability building, which we essentially must at whatever positions we are in on the client side of it. And that was my poser to you. I also have, answer in one of the slides that you presented, and thank you for that. IP awareness and content governance. I think that is one of the most important takeaways for me. And I'm sure each one of us has had his or her share of key takeaways for this evening. Wonderful, insightful. I think you should come more often. We will treat you over. We'll treat you over that yellow kheer. No. So, big thank you to Vikram Kharvi. Big thank you to our host, Ahmedabad Management Association. Big thank you to each one of us who is here, who made found time to be here despite all the traffic and everything. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
I think एक फोटोग्राफ होगा, उसके बीच में कुछ और एक्टिविटी अगर है तो लेट्स लुक एट दैट. Bijal is here.